Hey there and welcome. We're about to dive into an idea that is, well, it's pretty fascinating, and it might just completely change how you see your own brain.
So let me just ask you something right off the bat. Does your brain ever feel like it just won't turn off? You're lying there at night, it's buzzing, it refuses to quit. Yeah, if that sounds even a little bit familiar, you're in the right place.
Look, for so many of us, this feeling is just normal. We've kind of slapped a label on it, right? The anxious overthinker. And man, it really can feel like your own brain is working against you.
Maybe it feels something like this. You're constantly replaying conversations. I'm talking stuff that happened hours, maybe even days ago, and you're just picking apart every single word.
Or how about this one? Your mind just automatically, instantly jumps to imagining every possible worst-case scenario. For anything, no matter how totally unlikely it is.
And the end result of all that? You're just wiped out. Completely mentally exhausted by the sheer noise of your own thoughts. It's a really tough cycle to be in. So what do we call this? We tend to reach for some pretty negative labels, don't we? We call it anxiety, overthinking, chronic worry. Some of us even start to feel like our brain is just broken. But what if that's not the whole story? What if we've got it all wrong?
And that leads us somewhere totally new. It's time to shift the whole perspective here, to go from seeing this as a problem to maybe, just maybe, seeing it as a kind of superpower.
Okay, so here's the big idea. What if all that constant mental noise, that churn, what if it's not a disorder at all? What if, instead, it's the signature of a really powerful, super-connected mind doing its thing?
Turns out there's actually a name for this: cognitive complexity. And what I love about this definition is what it isn't. It's not about fear, it's not about worry. It's about the brain's natural built-in talent for looking at a situation from every single possible angle and thinking through all the consequences.
And this just lays it out so perfectly. You've got two ways to look at the exact same brain. The common view? That's just a worried, anxious brain that won't shut up. But the new view? That's a highly intelligent brain doing what it was designed to do, explore all the possibilities. It's the same brain, folks, just a totally different way of looking at it.
Okay, so how does this actually work? Let's get into the mechanics of it, because this isn't random panic. Believe it or not, there's a process to it. It usually unfolds in about 3 stages. First up is deep information processing. Your brain isn't just seeing what's happening, it's practically inhaling data, picking up on tiny details that most people would just miss. Then you move into stage 2, simulating multiple outcomes. This is where your brain basically becomes a Hollywood director, running simulations of every single potential future, all the what-ifs. And finally, stage 3 is examining consequences. It's like a built-in analyst, meticulously weighing the pros and cons for every one of those scenarios it just dreamed up.
And this is so important. The thing that's driving all this, it's not fear. It's a deep, natural need to understand something completely, to get the full picture. It's about comprehension, not catastrophe. When you boil it all down, there's really just one goal here: to examine every possible angle, to leave no stone unturned. It's all about being thorough.
Okay, and that brings us to the final and I think most important part of all this. It's time to start seeing this whole thing as a feature, not a bug. It's about learning to embrace your high-performance mind.
I love this quote because it says everything. Your brain isn't just worried, it's exploring every possible angle and consequence. That is the reframe. If you take one thing away, let it be that.
So, what does this all mean for you? Well, first off, it means your brain isn't broken. It's powerful. Second, it means you probably have an amazing capacity for solving really complex problems. And third, that thing you've always called overthinking, yeah, that can actually be your secret weapon, a strategic tool for planning and analysis.
So I'm going to leave you with this one last thought to chew on. The next time you feel your mind racing, just stop for a second and ask yourself, what if this isn't anxiety? What if this is actually just the sound of my intelligence working overtime?